I'm going to say something scandalous, Ronnie.
Go on.
Plants are meat. And not only are they meat, they're delicious, especially if they're from Impossible Foods.
They taste like beef.
Exactly. Impossible is making meat history this summer.
Yeah, they are. Summer of Impossible.
I am so excited to be spending time cooking my summer foods, all that good stuff. And guess what? We can use Impossible sausages, Impossible brats. I mean, it's going to be a great summer for Impossible Foods.
Impossible beef is made from plants and 19 grams of protein per serving, and it's better for the planet.
And it's meat.
Plant meat, correct. So if you're looking for something to grab for your grill, grab some Impossible beef.
Summer of Impossible.
Start making meat history today. Just head over to the meat aisle at your local grocery store, grab some Impossible beef or patties, and get grilling. The Beanie Bubble stars Zach Galifianakis, Elizabeth Banks, Sarah Snook, and Geraldine Viswanathan. A behind-the-scenes look at one of the biggest speculative crazes that blazed through American culture in the 90s. The Beanie Bubble in select theaters on July 21st, streaming exclusively on Apple TV Plus July 28th. Rated R. HomeAglow is a marketplace that connects homeowners and renters with house cleaners.
You can get your home clean for $19, okay?
Highly discounted initial cleaning. They really want to prove themselves to you, and they did for me. There's discounted recurring cleanings with Forever Clean membership.
Yeah, just save time by hiring a professional to clean. Don't do it yourself. Okay, you get high-quality cleaning professionals. This is wonderful. We've used them. Our houses came out sparkling clean. It was wonderful. Visit www.homeaglow.com/podcast to book your first cleaning for only $19. That's HOMEAGLOW.com/podcast.
Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens, crappens. Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is a man who once got into a huge fight with me over cheese. I can't even believe it. Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Well, hello, Ben. How are you, darling? It's a monumental day.
Monumental. By the way,
is it monumental or monumentous?
It's momentous or monumental. But by the way, we never got into a fight about cheese. I just want everyone to know it was just a lame tie-in. We could
get into a silent fight about cheese.
We will. I don't know the context of it, but it'll be hilarious.
Yeah, don't put it past us. I'll fight you about cheese. I'll fight anybody for cheese.
Absolutely. Sorry, but you were about to say today is a monumental day on the podcast.
It's the day we're going to fight over cheese. I feel it coming.
It's coming.
It's not every day we get to watch a new Housewives. In the past couple of years we got Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Dubai most recently, which wasn't great. Salt Lake City didn't have the best start either, but has gotten great. Maybe Dubai will too. But it's a new one, and this one's huge. People are going crazy over this one. How did you feel, Ben? Real Housewives of New York, Season 1.
People on Twitter are loving this. They're loving the new rebuff, the reboot of New York, and they're so happy that I don't think my opinion even matters. So, Ronnie, what did you think?
I loved it. I did love it. I think it is a little bit suspicious that everybody loves it. I think that that's a little bit weird. I think that Bravo.
Enthusiastic.
I'm accusing Bravo. I don't know what I'm accusing them of. Paying people off.
I definitely thought there were some bots. Last night, I'm not going to lie. I was looking at the tweets and I was like, are these people bots? Because then I clicked on some of them and I was like, no, they're not bots. People are like genuinely enthusiastic. I kind of feel like sometimes people are posting, hoping that like Bravo will retweet them and put it in their commercials. That's the cynic in me. But it seems like people genuinely really, really loved this premiere. So, I'm glad you loved it too.
I really did, and I haven't been paid off. So, yeah. I don't know. A lot of people we know seem to really like it. I liked it. I wasn't gagging, as the kids say today. Oh my God, I was gagging. Remember in the 80s when that was bad? You're like, oh my God, gag me. Gagging is the spin. Yeah, now people are like, I'm gagged. So weird. How things like come around. They're like, we're changing the meaning of words. So suck it, old man. Okay? It's not what it means anymore. We're just going to confuse the old queens. Okay? That's what we're doing now with language. Anyway, I thought it was pretty good, but I wasn't like gagged. But I did like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. And
Okay, I'll go on.
You can be negative. I don't care. But listen, here's what I need. Housewives that marinate and then become fucking crazy later on. So I think we should make some predictions. Jenna, crazy. You can tell she's crazy. She has crazy face. She has crazy reactions. Her resting crazy. She has RCF, resting crazy face, which is this. I'm going to do it right now for anyone on Crappens On Demand. It's this. She like sticks her front teeth out. Face. Yeah, she has like sticks her front teeth out, and then her eyes are always like kind of wandering around, like squinting, like confused about her surroundings, but also very self-assured. And also I read a bunch of articles on Reddit and stuff. Thank you, Bravo Real Housewives. But I read a bunch of articles about what a monster she was when she was at J. Crew.
I love that.
And all of that. So I am looking forward to her becoming absolutely insane. Marinate in the crazy is what I need from you. That's what I need from you.
I am looking forward to the craziness coming out of any of them. I think Jessel is going to be, I think she's one to watch as like being an awful person. She is so cold to her family. She is like ice cold and so mean. And then when Jenna shows up, she's like all smiles. She keeps on saying things like, oh, my Jenna. I'm like, you little kiss ass. You're such a fucking kiss ass. It makes me so happy that when I did a Google search for her, like all these articles that came up with the headline, Jessel Tank throws up all over the New York premiere because she got food poisoning, which sucks. But like it's such a mean headline where she kept on saying like she threw up all over the premiere. She even threw up on the red carpet. I was like, okay, so Jessel works in publicity and these headlines are so mean, which means that she is probably pissed off so many reporters. She's probably a nightmare to people below her, and she's a kiss ass to people above her. I hate those people in real life, but I do see a lot of upside for her being a terrible person on this show. So I'm excited about that. Brynn, honestly,
I think first of all, I think your call on Jessel is absolutely correct. She is really nice and kiss assy to those above her, and she's an asshole to those below her.
She's so mean,
and it's so funny watching her try to figure out in this group who she's above and who she's below.
Yes.
I mean, she has like very like psychological. You can watch, like human behavior videos on YouTube and see shit about her, like never looking people in the eye. She's always looking down and kind of around, like she's lying or scheming, or there's something going on with her, and you don't trust her mostly because she's a PR person. No offense, PR people.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
We love you. I get it
too.
But, also I'm an absolutely fabulous kind of a man. I love that show, and that's all about a PR person and all. So anyway, agree with what you said about her. Can't wait. I think she's going to be one of the most entertaining shit stirrers and backstabbers among these ladies. Okay,
that's going to come out. Brynn, okay, so on Twitter, people were like, Brynn, oh my God, already iconic, because she says something at one point. She says like something horrors, like, I forget what it is, but she has like some throwaway comment, and people on Twitter are like, oh my God, Brynn is already iconic. I'm like, okay, I'm going to say slow your roll to anyone being iconic on the show, except for Jenna. Jenna has already like put in the groundwork to being iconic because she literally has a whole other TV show that's based on her on HBO Max. So like, I'll allow that for Jenna, but Brynn, I'm sorry, she's literally done nothing iconic this episode except speak in baby voice, and honestly be like not that interesting. I don't think that Brynn is interesting so far. She seems like a Meg Tilly character, which actually might be or Jennifer Tilly character. It could be a Meg Tilly character too.
You're basically selling this
I know, I realized I started to go the other way.
Are you positively pitching this character to me? Because I'm sold. I will purchase this character. All the IP.
I don't see what like people on Twitter are loving about her. She's the one who feels the most aware of the cameras and most manufactured for the cameras. So I don't love her yet. What do you
I
think
see
about
that.
her?
I do love her. She's my favorite kind of character. And like the girl who talks like that, like when she's just like trying to be fun, but then she talks deeper when she's like getting really serious about things. You know, I like that. She's really charismatic. She's really beautiful, and she is just here to start shit with people. She knows the assignment, and she's kind of like a Kyle Richards, but with charisma and a personality.
Wow.
So I appreciate that. She's gonna start a cheese fight. She's gonna do it. She doesn't care.
Then we have Aaron. Aaron is like sort of Jennifer Aniston-y in her looks, and
She's like Jennifer Aniston playing Landon from Southern Charm,
yes,
or vice versa.
and I think it'd be the first way because Jennifer Aniston's an actress and she loves a challenge.
Right. And then you're like, why is she making Landon's voice? Landon really talks like this. But then when she does it like this. It's like, wait, why are you giving Landon so much gravitas, man?
So Erin, she seems fine. She seems like a little. I get the sense from Erin that she thinks she's a little more awesome than she is, right? Which is, like a nice, like it's a shred of just delusion that I'm looking for. Like there's one part where she goes, You guys are looking for the real New York? Here it is. I was like, oh yes, the real New York as represented by like 6 women in lavish, homes that cost millions of dollars in designer clothing who will never walk into a McDonald's.
Yeah, I lived in New York 10 years, never really saw. Well, I did see that side when I was cater waitering. Okay, I did see that side. That's not the real New York. Okay, the real New York would punch you in the face before they let you take the corner off of a piece of cheese. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much right now. I do like her. I think that she's so confident because she comes from such a big, loving family, and I think that can go to the detriment of people. I think that you shouldn't be too nice to your children, and you should definitely not tell your children they're talented and they're like the best thing ever because, like, my parents did it, and I'm a delusional like I'm literally crazy. And I think that that's what happened with her. I think she's had too much love in her childhood, and she really believes her parents. Is what I got because she's got that just kind of like.
She's got like
narcissism.
BDE. She has lady BDE,
Okay, so I think I'm gonna like her because she gets super defensive about everything, and she's very serious. And I thought at first she was an interior designer, which I liked. Like she was like a serious interior designer that talks like that. But then I found out she's a real estate agent, and she's still taking herself that seriously, which I also love because I feel like the real estate agents we see take themselves seriously, but they're also so like flashy and ridiculous. And I think she's like a more down to earth narcissist asshole, if that makes any sense. She's like making narcissism reachable. You know what? She's doing what Jenna Lyons did with J. Crew for narcissism. She's like making it wearable for everybody.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Like if she could make Michelle Obama a narcissist, she would make it available to her. So my concern with Erin is that I think that she thinks her shit is much more entertaining than it is. Like even when her kids come out with I don't know, like we'll get to it, but I don't know, like I'm a little TBD, but I sort of like her. And then there's Sai. Sai, I think, is good because her name represents how I feel when she's on screen. I sigh because I'm finding her kind of boring so far, but she dresses really well. I'm hoping that there's going to be more to her than what we've got. I mean, I'm not obviously coming from a super positive place from this premiere, but I want to give it time to give it like. To get up and going because it was very much an episode of like meeting everyone. So the narrative flow wasn't really there for me, and I didn't really find anyone to be terribly compelling or interesting. But Sai so far was a little meh to me, but she has potential to grow. What did you think?
I liked her. I mean, look, I like it. I know that New York is your baby. That's like your little baby. Real Housewives of New York is your favorite. It's your baby angel. Like even during the worst of times, you will hold on to that raft and you will just ride. I mean, I remember during the Jill Zarin days, I was like, fuck this show. I can't take this. This is the most toxic shit I've ever seen. Like I walk away from this show feeling horrible. I want to cry. I want to crawl up and you were like, no, it's amazing. Like no matter what happens, as bad as it gets, you will always love New York. And, this is basically like Bravo punching your baby in the face and sending it to the back of the line.
But that's why it is, yes. But that's also why I didn't want to come out of the negative closet on this episode because I felt like people would that would be where people would go first, which is like, oh, well, you just love the old one, you can't let go of the old one. And it's like, no, I actually really tried to have an open mind about this. And in fact, like when I first started watching it, I even texted you and said, oh my God, they're having a fight about cheese, and I was like very excited about that. But I was honestly, I was like really just not into this premiere. I found it to be kind of like very meh. But again, like I'm putting a pin in it because maybe in the next episode it'll come together more for me after like the introductions. But I felt like we already had to like go to party games. I don't know. The energy just was not there for me.
I'll get to that. Yeah, we'll argue a lot on this one. This will be fun because we'll disagree on stuff. But yeah, even the party game I felt was justified because Jenna Lyons is one of the most awkward people I've ever seen. And she is a person who can whip out a little card that she's had her gay prepared with things to ask people, you know? Like, okay. I feel like this is a time where this actually works because she needs it, you know?
That's an interesting point. I just, I think that overall, my first impressions of like the premiere is that it didn't really take me into a world that I cared about, if that makes sense. Like I feel like a lot of times, like all the Real Housewives, they allow us to peek inside some sort of microcosm or space that we don't have access to. So like in New Jersey, it's like in this Italian family, or like in Beverly Hills, this is what it looks like, these former child stars all trying to like the B-list, C-list actors, and this is what it looks like in Atlanta, and this is what it looks like in Potomac, even in Dallas. And I feel like here I'm like getting a look into a world that I just see on Instagram already. So I think I'm just like not like, there's no excitement for me there. But I'm really trying very hard, even though I had an extremely negative reaction to the premiere, I'm really trying hard to push through it. And I'm also not trying to yuck on anyone's yum because I know a lot of people really enjoyed this.
I will say, just shit all over the ice cream cone, man. Okay.
I will say, like, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I had like this moment of realization that this cast, they also just did like a full-on carbon copy of the Dubai cast in a sense, because first they have a cast member who's known to the audience already. So you have Jenna Lyons and you have Caroline Stanbury. And then they have someone who's an influencer. So you have Sai, as you had Nina. You have a real estate person, which is Aaron, and Caroline Brooks is in real estate. That's what she does. You have someone who works in fashion, but with small children. So that's Jessel and Lisa Milan. And you have someone who has sort of like a nebulous career. So that would be Brynn, and that would be Sarah. And then you also have an East African model who in this case are actual cousins. You have Uba and Chanel. I mean, that's kind of crazy. It's literally the same. They just basically took the template from Dubai and put it onto New York.
Yeah, they did. Uba's great, by the way. She's last but not least on this list. She is so charming and wonderful and sweet. I really liked her.
She is sweet.
I mean, look, I watched it. I was shocked that I was prepared to hate its guts, and I laughed. I thought it was really fun, and I can see where all of these people can go crazy in the future. And that's really all I need. It's a crazy garden. You just plant the crazy seeds, and I've seen some crazy seeds, and the crazy seeds have been planted, and I'm ready to see where it goes. So let's get started. Do you want to do taglines, or do you want to just jump right in?
You know what? Let me pull up the taglines because I forgot to write them down.
I'll text them to you.
Send them to me. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start.
You start them up.
You get to it. So we start with Brynn. I love to laugh, but make me mad, and I'll date your dad.
I have to say, I do really enjoy that tagline. It's like very deranged.
I do too. Like, what the fuck is that? What does it mean? And they explain to you what it means in the coming this season clips. And she's referring to Aaron's dad because I guess her and Aaron start fighting, and she threatens to bang Aaron's dad or something.
Yes. Okay, we have Aaron who says, I'm a true New Yorker. The only bull I'll take is by the horns. I think that's pretty good, actually. I think that I like that wordplay.
And then Jenna is like,
"Hey, I was being positive about something."
Listen, we're not. Don't go any further with this recap if you need to hear people agree. We're gonna literally disagree on everything. I just feel it coming because that I thought I was like, you can do better, Aaron. Like, come on, I'll only take the bull by its horns. Come on, haven't we just heard that? Or did I just hear it because these were released last week and I heard it? Maybe. Maybe I just heard it last week and I'm already mad about hearing it again, even though it's from the show that I heard it from last week. I don't know. So Jenna's like, my lashes may be fake, but I definitely try to keep it real. I was like, what? Your lashes? Jenna, nobody's looking at your lashes, and this is how I know you're crazy. You needed the most basic Housewives bullshit line because you're too crazy to explain in one sentence.
Well, her whole thing is she has actually like a condition where she has no eyelashes. So she actually sells.
Is that true?
Yeah, she sells fake eyelashes for people who have that condition.
So it's not just a basic housewife line. She actually has a lash industry.
She has a lash industry, and it's tied to that. Yeah, so
in that case, you go, girl. I thought it was just like, hey, my Chanel may not look real, but it is. But I just thought it was one of those. But
yeah, there's more wordplay than apparent that's there. But if you don't,
good for her.
If you don't know anything about Jenna, then yeah, it probably is like, okay, so she wear fake lashes, great. Okay,
like
Jessel's,
am I right?
Yeah, so Jessel's is, I always bring the flavor. It's not my fault that you don't have any taste. I like that actually. Even though I'm prepared to hate her.
Pretty cute.
Yeah, I like that.
And I like Housewives of New York telling us how we don't have any taste. Like Ramona's, you know what? I'm an acquired taste. So if you don't like me, acquire some taste. Okay. Like if you don't like me, it's your fault. And I like that. So Sai is like, in New York, there's a lot of bad apples, but I'm the baddest of the bunch. And then she turns around and she's wearing a boxing robe that says Sai on it.
Huh.
I don't know.
I just generally have an issue. I don't know. Like the whole like I'm the baddest apple of the bunch. I don't know why that doesn't ring true for me. But okay. And then Uba's is the secret ingredient, darling. It's me. It's like okay, because I guess she has her hot sauce. Uba hot.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
If you're hiring, you know what it's like to deal with economic uncertainty. And now more than ever, it's really important to hire the right people faster and more efficiently because you got to keep the overall cost down. And thankfully, there's a hiring partner who's focused on you and your needs, and that is ZipRecruiter.
From pricing to technology, everything that ZipRecruiter does is for you and what works best for you.
And right now, you can try them free at ZipRecruiter.com/crappins.
Now, here's how ZipRecruiter prioritizes your needs. They've got very straightforward pricing, like no surprises, no twists and turns.
ZipRecruiter's smart technology identifies the best matches for your job. Hire the best with the help of a partner who's all about you, ZipRecruiter.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Just go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/crappins.
Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/crappens.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Introducing the new Audible original Breakthrough.
The genre-redefining audio-only series that strips away the superficial to reaffirm what matters most. Pure talent.
Featuring celebrity judges Kelly Rowland, Sarah Bareilles, and host David Diggs.
Hear every step of the musical journey as 5 undiscovered musicians battle through a series of high-stakes singing and songwriting challenges for one top spot.
As musically gifted as they are artistically unique, each finalist is driven by the same dream, to become music's next must-listen.
But to break through, they'll have to dig deep, pushing their vocal, songwriting, and recording chops to their absolute limits while keeping their feet and emotions firmly grounded.
So, who will break through? It's time to find out.
Join Kelly, Sarah, and David on a musical journey unlike anything you've ever seen.
This is Breakthrough.
Listen on Audible or wherever you get your podcasts.
Go to audible.com/breakthrough.
Follow along using #BreakthroughXAudible.
So let's go start at the beginning. So I got this new camera that I'm trying out over here. First of all, the main plot of the show is my new camera. And it sticks onto my screen because I'm trying to be more engaged in my life. So I'm trying to look at you more and be in the screen more instead of looking all around. But my eyes can't stop looking all around because I'm used to looking up, So if I look crazy today, That's why. So, also, I'm having to scroll my notes weirdly to get past this stupid camera that is now stuck right in front of my face. Okay, let's get on with it.
Your lighting looks wonderful.
Oh, thank you. So, overhead shot of New York City. And the producer's like, okay, so let's talk about the women, Brynn. And Brynn's there in like a pink crop top cutout string thing with puffy sleeves. And she's like, bitches and whores. Next question. The really great moms. Really great moms. And she's one of those who does kind of the Jennifer Aiden posing thing as she talks, which I really love. It's one of my favorite characteristics to imitate.
I feel like Brynn goes and tells people, gays love me. So she says, I kind of feel like Satan's first wife. And then someone says, Brynn is definitely the fun girl. And then Jenna is like, I've never seen anyone weave flirting into everything that they do, except for me with Michelle Obama. And then Aaron's
and she does this thing. We see like little clips of them living their lives. And she's like, hi, I'm Brynn. I'm not married. And the guy's like, oh, hi. And someone says, that's the waiter. And she's like, and never mind. I was like, so what the fuck? You're going to not date him because he's a waiter? That's the first time I've seen somebody openly diss dating a waiter on the show. It's not nice.
This show has a pretty bad track record with wait staff. I will always remember Dorinda going up to a guy in the restaurant and asking for like a cocktail. And he's like, I don't work here.
Yeah, she asked him to take her coat or something. The black guy, remember? That was so fucking offensive. And I love that this is like Bravo's escape from all the problematic shit that happened on the original New York. So they even open with the scene that's the opposite of that. It's someone mistaking a black guy for not being a waiter. I was like, wow, you guys are really changing it up for this one. I love it. I love the new direction.
And then Aaron says, Brynn is taking the fun meter from here to here. Now, I have a complaint, which is I understand that why they have to do this. Of course they have to do this, but I feel like they work overtime to convince us about how fun they are. They keep on so many times in this episode, they're like, we are just so fun. We are a fun group. Look at us, a group of fun people. Isn't that fun? I'm like, okay, listen, okay, I will accept it that you guys are fun, but please, you don't have to beat me over the head with it.
Well, also, she's not very convincing because of the way she does it, like from here to here. So she goes, she takes a fun meter from here to here. I'm like, that's just literally the same level. It's like a windshield wiper, from the left to the right. I need it to be like down here and then up here. She takes the meter up, but not just the same level. So then we see Jenna, who's, they start all talking about Jenna. Okay, Jenna's going to get in trouble for touching people inappropriately. That is another thing I will say right up front. They showed us two shots in this episode right here at the beginning. One is of her grabbing Aaron's butt, and there's another one of her grabbing Aaron's boobs, I think, or something, which is all fun and games until right now in the world. People are going to get mad at you. I'm just predicting people are going to get pissed. Let's see.
So the first testimony we hear about Jenna, and I didn't know who said it because at that time it was just voices, I couldn't place them, but we hear someone go, we look in magazines and we see Jenna and she's a boss bitch. They love saying boss bitch on the show. Girl boss bitch. She is such a boss bitch boss. Oh my God, love her.
Let me see. We see what a boss bitch she is because she's pointing things out to a photographer. She's like looking through the little viewer lens or whatever. And she's like, I like candles. Okay, but you need to light the candles also. And the model looks like a pie crust. Please start them on fire. Start the model on fire. I hate the model. Okay, move the candle over. I need the candle closer to the dish because otherwise, I need to see both of those things.
It is literally about a candle. She's like, can you light the candles, please? What a boss bitch lighting that candle.
Boss.
See, I guarantee, by the way.
Light up mine. I'm going to let it. Boss bitch. My candle's shining, bitch. I'm a boss.
By the end of this episode, by the end of this recap, I'm going to love this show because we're going to be making fun of so many stupid things. I'll be like, okay, I love it now.
I'm telling you, it's filled with so much gold. That just shot of her looking into the camera was cracking me up. So then we meet Jessel, and she's one of the housewives who succumbs to the big flower on the shoulder. I believe this was started by Sonia Morgan, the gigantic flower that's like bigger than your head sitting on the side of your shoulder. Those days are done. Okay, Jessel? I don't know how Jessel is in PR, and yet she's the one barfing all over the premiere and in the old flower, in the old one flower shoulder. I don't get it.
So Sai says, Jessel's a publicist, and she'll remind you that she's a publicist at all times. And we see Jessel turning to a gay and saying, I joined Michael Kors, and the first thing he said to me was, I need last look in Vogue. Is that what she said?
Yeah, I need the last look in Vogue.
And you see the gay is just sad. The gay is like, ugh, of all the women I could have attached myself to, this is who I did it to.
And then she's telling us about Jenna, and she's like, oh, Jenna, what a gift. I mean, there's just something about her, you know, she's a very unique person. And then we cut to Jenna, and she's on her phone taking a picture in a baseball cap. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. That lady just took a she took a picture on her phone.
Wait a second, did that boss bitch just put on a baseball cap and take a photo? How unique. A unique boss bitch.
Also, we see Jenna giving her dog coffee.
Sounds great.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't
give
right.
your dog coffee. Okay. Also, your dog's going to poop everywhere. And then later in the episode, her goddaughter can't take the dog out because it's raining outside. And I was like, I hope this dog shits all over your house because you gave it coffee. You dumbass. Who does that?
Exactly. And so like in Jenna's show on HBO, like the whole show is she's like making her house on top. She's doing a lot of different things. It's actually the most unfocused show. It's like watching it's like the antithesis of Bethany's show on HBO, where Bethany's like, all right, I need to find someone who's gonna be my VP of whatever. Okay, who you want to work for me? Okay, like do something. Okay, I'm gonna judge you. Jenna's like, I need to hire someone. I don't know what for, but I think I want to hire someone. But I think that's gonna it's like 6 episodes of her not even knowing what she wants to do. It's like
you're on Angie's list, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. But she's like making her house in the meantime. So I'm like very invested in this house. So to know that this dog is gonna be shitting all over it makes me very upset.
Yeah. But she does it all the time, I guess. Listen, you don't need to convince me you're wacky. I get it already.
Yeah.
So, Sai's like, okay, so we go to Sai. She's creator/influencer, which is worrisome. You know, I mean, I do think that is a roadblock, really, for anybody, okay, in real life and on TV. And she's like leaning against a railing for a fashion shoot because that's what you do. You go out to your fucking stoop, you know, like the girl on Married to Medicine, that lady, you know, who's always like, oh my God, I have so many boxes to open. My husband doesn't understand what it's like to have so many boxes to open. What's that chick's name?
Anila?
Yes, Anila.
So yeah, Sai is, so she's an influencer, and I actually try not to be too snobby. I'm like really trying to grow, guys, and I'm like trying not to be too snobby about influencers because like there's not that much difference between like they're out there on social media doing stuff, you know, like they're making their money, like good for them.
Listen, they're salespeople.
They're salespeople.
I'm more used to it now.
But that being said, I still roll my eyes. And so Sai, the first thing that we see of Sai, she's like in a robe and she goes, do you know my name? And then she turns around and it says Sai on the back of it. And I was like, I don't know why. It's just, I think it's prejudice against influencers. Despite everything I just said, I think I'm like prone. I'm really trying to like adapt my mindset of Real Girlfriends in Paris to Sai because I was like so amused by the influencers on that show. And I just have to like change my mindset, you know?
So Aaron's like, so yeah, Ty on Instagram, like every picture of her is like pursed lips and posing because like she looks like a huge bitch and she can be a huge bitch, but not to me, so I still love her.
And then Uba goes, Sai is such a boss, like, and I think it has to do with height. She is such a boss. Is she like a boss bitch? No, just a boss. Oh my God, so we've got a boss and a boss bitch. Oh my God, iconic.
Boss bitch alert. Oh my God, hold on. I have a boss bitch alert on my phone. Hold on. Warning, boss bitch. Tiny boss bitch approaching.
Tiny boss bitch, not to be confused with tiny boss entering the arena.
So then we go to Uba's, and she lives in Columbus Circle, and she's a model / entrepreneur. Now, this one also, they're not all from the Upper East Side, which is another huge difference. They're from all over the place, including Sai, who's from Brooklyn, which is really crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they're from all over the city. And the whole thing about being geographically desirable, that is a true thing. So I'm wondering how they're going to make all of this work. Because remember how badly they looked down on Alex when she moved to Brooklyn? I know Brooklyn's different now, but there's still a bridge there.
It's still a trek. Okay.
I think it's actually opposite now, where people in Brooklyn judge Manhattanites. And they're like, ew, Manhattan? Gross. What am I, a tourist or a worker bee? Fuck no. I'm staying at my metalworking shop here in Williamsburg. I've got coffee and wine built in. Fuck Manhattan.
Do you know how much I had to pay to push out the people who were living here so I could take it over and open up a coffee shop downstairs? I am not going to Manhattan.
Get back to work, people. Gentrification costs money.
Yeah, so Uba is in Columbus Circle. That is, by the way, Columbus Circle to Brooklyn is a bit of a journey,
That's
right?
insanely. Yeah, it's an insane journey. Yeah, Central
But you
Park.
know what though? Considering how much driving they have to do on Atlanta and also on Potomac, they have to drive all over to get to each other's house. It's about time the New York ladies put in some work.
But the traffic doesn't move in New York. There's no such thing as you just hop in a cab and get somewhere when you need to be. I mean, unless you wait until certain hours. I mean, you're either walking or you're going to get your ass in the subway. I mean, like, I feel like the real representation of New York, like, poor people will get on the train because we're not stupid. Like, we know that it's the only way to get places during busy times. These people, there's going to be a lot of waiting for filming. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So Uba, so she lives in Columbus Circle. She's a gorgeous model, and Aaron's like, Uba is vivacious, and Brynn's like,
Uba is like larger than life, and like she can be in like the another barrel, and you can like hear her.
And we see a model shoot, and the producer guy or the model shooter guy is like, what are you serving us, Uba? And she's like, chocolate, darling. So yeah, she is a boss bitch too, guys. So then we go to Aaron, and Aaron's like, this is Aaron's descriptive. This is Aaron's descriptive line that they edited. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Wow. She's original voice. Jessel says, Erin likes to run the fucking show. Dare I say that she's a boss? She's a boss. She's a boss too. We're all bosses.
So then let's see. She's an interior. I wrote down interior designer. I learned later that I'm incorrect. So she lives in Tribeca. She's a real estate agent. And Jessel's like, Erin really likes to run the show. It's like, oh, she hates her. I love it.
Yeah, Uba, because Uba wants to be that one. I think Uba really wants to be Jenna's number 2, and there's probably going to be some friction as Aaron becomes her number 2. So Uba's like, Erin is a true New Yorker, and she's a straight shooter, and she's straightforward. And then Brynn is like,
Erin's like that friend that you like laugh your ass off like every time you're like together.
And then we find out that Aaron is that snob who everything is about. Like, they're not even from the city, you know, because we see a clip of her telling her husband, that girl's not from this city, honey. And he's like, yeah. She goes, yeah, like a tourist.
oh.
You know, you live in a fucking tourist city, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You literally live in a neighborhood that was created by a movie star. Okay. That's trying to get tourists there all the time. Robert De Niro created that fucking neighborhood. Get over yourself.
You literally live in a neighborhood called Tribeca. If you think about that, that's like someone saying to a girl named Becca, try. Just try, Becca.
Try, Becca. That's like a Jenna line from later in the season. Try, Becca.
Try. Just try. Can you just try to light the candle, Becca? Light the candle, Becca.
So then she falls on the ground and her shirt comes up and Jenna laughs and grabs her boobies and stuff, which I think is just like girl play. I'm just thinking it's funny because I'm just worried that someone's going to be like, oh my God, she's gay and she's grabbing people's boobs. And I'm hoping it doesn't happen. Even though I guess I've probably been the one who's been doing that, but I haven't been doing it in that way. I'm just like, I see danger ahead.
It would be terrible for such a boss bitch to be taken down by that. So this is where Aaron goes, if you're looking for the real representation of New York, this is us. I was like, yeah, we'll wait for you. We're gonna wait to see that scene where you guys ride the subway together.
Right. Okay, so let's see that. Oh, by the way, the entire intro was spent taking pictures of themselves. Did you notice? Every scene was them either taking selfies together as groups, or taking selfies as people, or taking selfies as their job, or Jenna taking pictures of herself or whatever's in front of her. A lot of selfie stuff, which we all knew was coming in this season. But I thought it was really funny that they leaned into it.
They really did. So now we start in properly. The show now is really ready to begin. And we're at Sai's brownstone in Brooklyn, this gorgeous brownstone. And she's telling her kids that there's going to be a play date because Brynn and Jessel are coming over. And the kids are like, we don't even know who those people are. Like, we actually barely even speak English right now.
The kids are on iPads, which is totally how I think kids should be. That is like the dream children, to only be on iPads at all times. And she's like, come on, guys. Like, what do we even do? The dishes in this house? I don't want people to think we don't do dishes, you guys. Okay, you're not going to be on the iPads when people are over here, okay? Guys, I rep Brooklyn all the way. I used to hang out on Flatbush with my little doobies with pins in them. And everything I had growing up is so different from my family now. Like, now I walk down these tree-lined blocks in Brooklyn, and I look through the windows, and I think, how do they even live here? Like, sometimes I see people looking through my windows, and I know that they're thinking like, wow, look at her now. I was like, whoa. You know, there's like being an influencer, and then there's just being way too comfortable with fucking perverts staring into your window. Okay? Close your fucking windows. What's going on over there?
She has literally painted the front of her brownstone to look like an Instagram feed. It like literally says the Instagram logo and then her name.
It's one of those like selfie places that like your kids ask you to go to so they can take selfies on their Instagram. She's just that's how she's raised her following. She's just on everyone's Instagram post. Like,
At Sai. At Sai.
Like and subscribe. You can find me at 123 Like and Subscribe Street in Brooklyn.
Wait a minute, I was just looking at the selfie I took at that selfie place, and there's a random lady above me in the window.
Her doorbell is actually somehow connected to like getting likes on Instagram. Like, you press it and her likes go up. By the way, I think the irony is
Wait a minute, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Yeah, keep pressing it, stupid. Fucking Manhattanites. Idiots.
How rich is it that you just pointed out that the opening montage is just all the women taking photos of themselves, and then the first thing we hear Sai say is to tell her kids, when they come over, okay, I don't want you guys on your screens.
So Brynn comes over. She's like, oh my God, look at this. It's the lady of the house. We're shaking babes. We're such good friends.
And Brynn says,
I consider Sai to be like 100% like one of my best friends. And like, I like going to her house because like, that's like what I want. Like, she's like 100% like living the life that I want. It's like perfect.
Yeah, like, should I kill her and take her life? Like, it could almost turn into like a psychodrama. Like, I'm Sai.
lady, you know you're on camera, right?
So she gives gifts to the kids. That's how you know that she's a new friend. She can say that they're best friends all they want to, but no best friend brings gifts all the times for the kids. That's fucking ridiculous, and we'll all be broke if we had to do that every time. I'll barely go to their house anyway because they all know that I have gum and they try to take it. My kids look at me. I'm like a big walking Mentos dispenser. They know what I've got, and they're gonna get it from me.
So then, meanwhile, up in Washington Square Park, Uba and Aaron meet up. And Uba's like, oh, you look so beautiful. And Aaron's like, you look so chic. I'm saying that as a real New Yorker to someone else. And she's like, I had the craziest morning. I woke up. I had my celery juice in the morning. I had my coffee. And she's just like, woke up, celery juice, coffee, and,
But she says, yeah, the craziest morning because I woke up and you know how I have my celery juice.
Like, that's not the craziest morning part. Not that would be that crazy, but still, I just like, it's like, I brush my teeth, have my celery juice, then I have my coffee, So anyway, let me get to the crazy part.
Oh, wait, is that when your son accidentally drank our celery juice? I die about it. Anybody else hear this boss bitch celery story? Dead about it.
What an outrageous group we are telling these hilarious stories. So anyway.
I'm gog.
I'm gagging too on celery juice. So the letter from the teacher, guess what? After he accidentally drank my celery juice, the teacher wrote me a letter that said, hi, Aaron, Elijah had blowout diarrhea And then I texted the group and said, this is what happens when you give your kids celery juice. I gag and die at this boss bitch celery juice. Oh my God.
And Uba, the gorgeous supermodel, is like, oh, that's why I don't even touch a celery juice. I like to keep my food. I pay for it. Why would I get rid of the food? Like, I need proof. I need proof, Batman. So Sai, by the way, does celery juice do that? Celery juice just sounds so stringy and dangerous.
I would not think that celery juice would do that. I think that's, I don't want to make any authoritative stances on celery juice because we're on a platform and words matter, but I would not think that.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
You know what I love about saving money is that when I save money, I can then spend that money on things I really want to spend money on, like nice food or board games.
Rakuten helps us to be a smarter shopper and save money on just about everything.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop.
We have things we need to buy, whether it's home essentials or a self-care treat just for you.
Yeah, with Rakuten, we can get cash back on clothes, groceries, travel, and much more. In fact, there are over 4,200 stores across every single category on Rakuten.
Even better, you can stack cash back on top of other deals like store sales and credit card points.
In case you're wondering, the stores in Rakuten are ones that you know and love, and lots of cool ones waiting to be discovered. I mean, some of my personal favorites are Expedia, CVS.com, JCPenney, Instacart. I mean, it just goes on and on. Join the 17 million members who are already saving. It's free and easy to join Rakuten and start getting cash back. Start shopping at Rakuten.com now, or download the Rakuten app to start saving today. Your cash back really adds up. That's RAKUTEN.com.
So, let's see. So, Sai and Brynn are hanging out waiting for Jessel. And then Jessel is with her mom, Nimam, and the kids are in the backseat. They're driving over this bridge, right? Her mom, amazing. She looks like
So
she's
elegant.
still dressed in Jenna Crew.
Jessel's hoping it becomes Jessel Crew someday. She's like, late at night, she's like, someday
great plan.
it will be Jessel Crew.
So she's with her mom, and she's like, so kids, this is your first time on the Brooklyn Bridge. Do you even care? And she's like, I have two gorgeous twin boys. I call them the human equivalent of coffee. They don't sit still, and really you only do it
You only
because
pay attention
everyone
to them in the
else
morning.
is, honestly. The only reason you get one, the only reason you even notice them every day is because everyone else is doing it, and you feel like you should eventually do it. But really, it's just like a path to taking great shit on the table, isn't it?
You know what? My children are like the human form of coffee. I embrace them in the morning, but by evening, I don't want to be anywhere close to it.
So one of her kids is named Rio, and one of Sai's kids is named Rio. Rio's a very popular name.
It's the new cruise. Rio is the new cruise.
That's a big name.
Yeah.
So then we get a clip of her kids throwing powder all over the place and crawling all over her couches and screaming. And she's got two white couches. I don't trust Jessel.
No, absolutely not. First of all, her children are disasters. They're little lunatic disasters. If they are human they then I don't even know where I'm going to go with that. But like, if they're human coffee, like, this is bad for the coffee industry. They are wild little
They're
beasts.
wildlings. They're
Yes.
wildlings. And here's why I don't trust her. Not because her kids suck, but because she's got white couches with those babies. And I'm like, nobody trustworthy buys those couches. Like, basically, I feel like you're just shitting all over the world. Like, no one, those couches aren't. What are you doing? Like, I don't know what to even say. I'm so perplexed by it.
Also, I need Jessel to have like to be consistent with her monstrosityness. Like, I think like her apartment, which we will get to, is gorgeous but sterile and severe, and you don't feel like you could ever be comfortable in it. It's like you can see that everything in her life is perfectly manicured and severe, but like children totally unkempt. Like, I don't know why Jessel doesn't have them in their own separate room that they're not allowed to come out of, and this is like where they play and they live, you know? And so I'm not saying that's a good way to raise children, but I'm just saying I would like Jessel to see her personality all the way through to each room. But like having these children run wild.
I don't trust the setting of her life because it's not ringing true. You know what I mean? The set. I think she has like barf in her hair and stained clothes and like Roseanne's couch from the TV show Roseanne. Like I feel like that was it until she got cast, and then she's like, I want a rounded white sofa because we've got a rounded room and I will have it looking rounded. Also, I want everything from like she has the most expensive, thick, really thick, chunky like wooden kind of plates. Like they look raw stone. You know, like she has everything in there just looks kind of
not
too
lived
brand
in.
new.
It doesn't look like lived. That's what I'm saying. I guess that's what I was trying to say. It feels like there is like some cognitive dissonance, but like someone who creates this very untouched world and yet has children who are like wild and all over the place, which I know is actually probably the realest thing about her. But I just want her, I want her to be a monster in all forms of her life. And I feel like her mom doesn't even normally look like that. She made her mom get like a nice like makeover, and the mom is like, well, you made me over, and now what? Now I'm like the nanny? How could you do this to me?
Yeah, she's using her mom as the nanny, totally. There's this, I said absolutely fabulous. I'm sorry, I have to tell this. I'll tell it really quick, though. There's this one episode where she has a friend coming over who's just, everybody looks up to this friend. She's a real boss bitch, Bettina, all right? So Bettina's coming. And it's like, Bettina's so modern. And we see them meeting Bettina years ago, and everything was white and sleek and like this house. And then Bettina finally arrives. This is an episode where she's like, I want everything off the counters. All right, this is what I don't want to see. Things on places. All right, remove this. So Bettina finally comes, and she's got kids now, and she's a mess. She's a slop now. Everything's like kids are barfing everywhere. The kids barf on Adina, and she's like, "Le quoi, baby spew, darling. Le quoi, baby." Oh, sorry, I just hit the mic. But you get it. So she's basically like trying to be Bettina, but Bettina's already had the children's, and she's still trying to be the old Bettina. You know what I mean? I need messy Bettina. I don't need old Bettina with babies.
Literally, I mean, let's also not forget that Jessel literally barfed all over the premiere. She is Bettina, it turns out.
So that's what she's just a disaster. You can read it everywhere. It's the large flower on her shoulder in the diary room session. It's the barfing all over the premiere. It's about having a whole new house of brand new furniture that makes no sense for her lifestyle in her house. She's a disaster. And I have such high hopes for her.
I really like this theory, and I'm going to lean into it. So Jessel says, I met Sai and Brynn in the fashion and publicity world, which, I don't know, that just sounds fun. I don't know why that sounds so funny to me, the fashion and publicity world.
What does that mean? It does sound fun. Like, I need specificity, you know? Like, did you take an ad in the back of the fucking, I don't know, Village Voice? Like,
but it also
so many, it ranges, you know, such a range.
But by the way, a legitimate issue or concern I have is that this group definitely feels like they're cobbled together from casting, right? And that's like that is definitely like a red flag, you know, because we like groups that have, you know, real friendships. And so when she says, oh yes, I know them from the fashion and publicity world, I'm like, you don't know them. But by the way, I also want to say one thing in defense of this show. One thing that happened before this premiere was that there was another cast member, Lizzie Savetsky, and she ultimately was fired. And so it looks like this is all going forward from that point. But they had already filmed a lot with Lizzie. And I will say that every Bravo show that has started as either it was supposed to be something else, like, you know, the way Potomac was supposed to be something else, Miami was supposed to be something else, and they changed it to Housewives, or where they've had to like film stuff after someone's fired and kind of like restart the season almost midway through, like Salt Lake City last season, has always suffered in my eyes. And I actually don't blame the show for that. That is just like the unfortunate way things happen. So I wonder also if I'm picking up on that energy too, Ronnie.
Well, actually, I think that helped it because one of my thoughts was this, because I kept thinking, where's this horrible Lizzie person? You know, she seems fucking awful. She got fired for being awful. Her husband's apparently really awful. So I thought maybe we would see her and that would be part of the drama, would be her getting fired or losing it or spiraling. But it looks like they just completely learned their lesson. They're like, we're trying to fix things with this Real Housewives of New York. We are not starting on this note with the new cast. So they got rid of her and they started all over. But I think it helped because I think that these ladies actually know each other now. Because obviously they are cobbled together, but they at least know enough about each other to have fights already going on and be annoyed with each other. And they're getting on each other's nerves already. And I think that every Housewives show should have to shoot for 6 months to warm up, just a bunch of shit you're never going to use.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that there's merit in that, but I think the big fight that we haven't even gotten to yet, that all happens off camera, and you sort of feel like, oh, I bet this was on camera at one point, but they can't show it because of this,
Yes.
Things like that.
I got that.
So I'm wondering
feeling.
if that was also something that contributed to me not having like as positive of reaction, because I'm like, I'm an empath. I'm a production empath. And, I feel things,
I felt that, Chiron. I really felt that, Chiron.
Yeah, I felt that change of mandate on the show. So anyway, so Jess is telling us how Sai is a content creator and one of the most respected in the industry. And she goes, I would buy everything that she posts, which is why I have this new house of white furniture that my children will not destroy. I command it.
That's why I've put on the outside of my window the film that makes it look like trees to take a picture against, but it's really a see-through window where you get me in your shot.
I don't understand that, but I liked it.
I was trying to reference Sai's stupid stoop that people stopped to take pictures in front of, and she thought that it didn't make any sense. All right, this is why I've got a boxing robe with the name Sai on the back. That actually probably makes more sense.
I'm sorry.
No, it was my bad. I'm just kind of doggy paddling around this pool.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
now
really know what to do.
But by the way, I did like when Brynn said this was a point for Brynn when she goes,
Sai's kids, I'm like, my ovaries are flipping, and I'm ready to get like knocked up yesterday. Jessel's kids, I'm like, eh.
I was like, okay, I really respect someone for going on TV and saying, your kid's good, your kids suck. I respect that. I really respect that out of Brynn.
So then we cut back to Uba and Aaron, who are still talking in the park, and they're talking about the other girls. Uba's like, how so? Did you see the other girls? And she's like, yeah, you know how I'm feeling about it. I'm still real salty about that night. And it's like, dun, dun, dun. So we get our first problem of the season. Yeah. And Aaron's like, listen, I don't even care if people like have different plans, but like, it was like, if we should go do something together, we should do something together. So like, I made plans to do something together.
So Aaron tells us, so the girls and I wanted to get together for dinner. It was a huge group, okay, and nothing was available. It was last minute, so I picked a beep, and they just beep. I was like, wait. But all you hear is that k, and then a beep. K-beep. So, of course,
everyone's saying catch, right?
Catch. Yeah, everyone's saying it's catch New York City.
Well, it's just so good to know that place is a dumpster of C-list losers, too, because the LA one definitely is. Well, my God, what a douche pit.
Not only that, but I love also that, like, they can't even say the name. Like, there'll be some sort of either ramifications. Does NBC Universal have a stake in Catch or something like that? Or is it because it's celebrity-backed that the NBC doesn't want to get in trouble with celebrities? Like, sorry.
I don't know. They don't want the Catch slander.
Yeah.
So Aaron's like, yeah, I mean, I would go with anyone to a local bar. Like, who cares where we go? You liar, because you're the snob about who's really from Manhattan and who's not. Don't act like you're just going to go sit in the Applebee's. Okay? Yeah. Because I don't believe it.
Yeah, and don't act like Catch was the only place you could find. I'm sorry, it's a big city. And if you are like a boss bitch, you could make sure there would be space for you no matter what. So like this Catch thing, this is not ringing true. You have bad taste. And your friends called you on it.
You think Catch is cool. Yeah, I think you think Catch is cool. Yeah. You're like, well, they're all influencers. Where should I take them? Catch. And they're like, that's so over.
Here's what probably happened. I just developed an on-the-fly theory. She knows someone who works at Catch, let's say. And then she's like, hey, I'm doing a TV show. How about we just like come in and we'll shoot the show at your restaurant? Like, oh, that's great. And we'll just like comp your meal. Yes. Okay, we're going to do that. So they arrange this whole thing and then people don't show up and now it's a drama. But she's like, well, we're because my friend did this, like pulled this favor for us. I don't want to like be bad, like talking bad about the restaurant. We got this free food. So Aaron demands that they bleep out Catch. That's my theory.
Okay, I like it. I'll go with it.
It's a really inconsequential theory in life, but that's my theory.
That's okay. You know, these are inconsequential fights, which is why they're so good. So she's like, the restaurant used to be the hottest restaurant in New York, and it's easy to get to. It's convenient, but you know what? Like, Brynn ditched the group and with Sai, and then they posted in the group chat that they were at Cipriani. I mean, that was hurtful. Like, it's just very obnoxious, and it's like hurtful also. Like, I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
So hurt that they bailed on the dinner at Catch. So Aaron didn't like that they weren't up front, and you know, because they apparently said they were tired and they were going home, and Jessel's like, but I thought that they did go home. So now we go to Sai's
Jessel's
house.
a fucking liar too. Like, she didn't see the group chat. They were bragging about it. They were on the group text posting that they went to another restaurant. That's why it's so funny to me, because it's obviously them being dicks to her on purpose. You know, like this Brynn girl is obviously trying to trigger her. Which is why I like Brynn. I think it's hilarious. And it worked. She's like, how dare they ditch us at Catch?
So now we go back to Sai's house where the women are still talking. And Brynn tells Jessel, like, sorry, I kind of bailed on that dinner. And Sai's like, yeah, she bailed with me. And Brynn's like, well, I didn't know how to say I wouldn't be caught dead at Catch, especially with your children, Jessel. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
And Jessel, the publicity person, is like, wait, it's not 2006 then? She's no, like, it's not even like 2005. and I'm not a D-list model either. So.
Now, listen, you are a reality star in Bravo, so don't start throwing stones in your Catch house, okay? So
But also, I thought this was funny because apparently, from reading all the controversy today on the internet, Catch opened in like 2011 or 2012 or something. So Jessel's like, wait, it's not 2006. I was like, oh yeah, you're really up to date, Jessel, with everything hip and trendy. Wrong fucking year by a decade. Loser.
Have some historical accuracy in your disses, okay?
I mean, for real. And then Brynn just, I guess, exaggerates it more to like save her because they're friends right now. So.
Yeah. So Sai's like, well, I mean, is it bad that I didn't go to bleep? And Brynn's like, I mean, Olive Garden to me is like chicer. They have like good breadsticks. They like slop.
Yeah, but that's like high-low. But there's this like a thing with like teenagers.
And Sai, why does Sai say Catch is good for teenagers? I think I don't know.
She does because they're just.
Why are they
Catch.
talking? Only teenagers like Catch? Okay, I get that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
I couldn't read my own notes.
Yeah, because you are like you're on Long Island. It's prom night. You go into the city for the prom, something exciting like that, and then like you go on the Circle Line for prom, and then afterwards you're like, let's go to Catch because we've heard about it. So yeah, it is good. I literally can see teenagers going to it.
Yeah. So
I'm not saying that's what my prom experience was like, but it was not unlike a prom experience I had.
Mine was like this. Thank you for being a friend. Traveling down the road and back again. Peanut M&Ms. Delicious. So Aaron, back to Aaron and Uva. So then Aaron and Uva, Aaron's like, who cares where we are as long as we're together? And she's like, yeah. And then Jessel told me the night we went out that she had heard that they were talking about me, and that doesn't feel right.
Yeah, she didn't like that. And Uba's like, I think it's very mean. So Brynn, we go back to Brynn, and she goes,
Aaron says that she's been like distancing herself from you, Sai, because like you rubbed her a little wrong. Like, my words, not hers.
And Sai's like,
oh, apparently I'm like an awful human being who just happens to have a very beautiful boxing jacket that she wears with her name on it. Sorry.
And Sai's like, Aaron and I have like similar friends, and we run in the same circles for a few years now. And I can tell you this, Aaron's always arguing with or mad at somebody. So now it's seeming like Aaron is the common denominator in all of this. So Brynn's like,
supposedly? Sai was like, supposedly? Like, cheese? What's that?
Sai's like, yeah, about her charcuterie board. Like a charcuterie board.
She goes,
like whatever.
Her charcuterie board. I was like, So Brynn's
Bravo. It's a Bravo pronunciation right there.
So then Brynn goes,
This is me doing Aaron telling the story. Okay, everyone get ready. Okay. Okay, so Sai comes over and she's like, what's that? And she's like, that's cheese. And supposedly Sai goes, oh, you eat cheese? And Aaron's like, is that not cool? And apparently Sai goes, that's weird.
Thanks for the full illustration of the stories, Brynn.
So then it cuts. So then Sai is like, I did not have a mouth of cheese and champagne and nuts and cheese. Like, listen, like, wait, did I not have a mouthful of cheese and champagne and nuts and cheese? Why would I diss the cheese? And she's like, I ate the cheese. And she's like, I remember eating the cheese. I ate more cheese than everybody else ate the cheese. Like, I'm from Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, we love cheese.
I remember being on like Flatbush Avenue ordering cheese at stores.
Like
and then
cheese.
looking into like townhouses and being like, someday I'm going to have cheese on a table like that. And now people look in my townhouse and they see me eating cheese and they want to be me. So I know all about cheese.
Yeah. Like, take me all the way up in that glass cheese elevator. You know what I'm saying? Like, I win. So then Bryn's like,
Yeah, but like, why would you just lie about that? That's weird to me. Like, seriously, she's lying about cheese?
so then we cut back to Aaron, and Aaron's like, okay, well, how do you feel about tonight? And Uba's, of course, like all positive. She's like the positive force in the group. So she's like, I'm just so excited to see everyone. We're an exciting group of girls, that's for sure. We're not boring. We're so fun. What a group of fun boss bitches having fun.
What was this all about? She's like, we are an interesting group of people, right? We like, if you can't handle our energy, stay home. I'm like, oh, this energy about fighting over cheese. But I do love a fight over cheese. But I just love Uba all in the middle of the show, just saying, hold on, Aaron, what you're saying I know is good, but they need something for the marketing. What an exciting group of people we are.
I love also that you've turned her into like Mario from Super Mario.
Mamma mia!
What an exciting group of girls we are! My mother made the sauce.
The accents will take a moment to congeal.
Oh, it's going to take a while. Yeah, it's also New York. We need time. Okay, we need time. So yeah, she's like, if you can't handle this energy, stay home.
Well, we did it again. We wound up talking for way too long, so we've decided to split this episode into a two-parter. So this is the end of part 1, and part 2 will be up in just a little bit. Be sure that you're subscribed to Watch Our Crap on whatever platform you're listening to, so that way the episodes just come rolling in on their own into your feed, and you don't have to seek anything out. Anyway, thanks for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode. Bye!
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela.
Itchels.
Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch Our Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Looking for love? I'm Jujubee, and on this season of Queen of Hearts, we're going all the way down to sunny, sexy Miami. I'm setting up the hottest singles in South Florida. Maybe I can find them their perfect partner, or someone to fulfill their sexiest fantasies.
A man who unconditionally loves me and is a raging feminist, and then ties me up, rubbing oils on me, then surprise gets a girl to lick my and another guy to put it in my and has a huge...
But remember, there's a twist. No one can see each other until the very end. Camera's on.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Woo. Got me blushing.
Follow Queen of Hearts on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on Amazon Music, included with Prime. Download the Amazon Music app now, or you can listen ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.